I
feel like
literally just
everything
went
we're
live.
talking about right now, we're having a great conversation, and none of it's being captured. Like,
I
Wow.
agree. I
I'll be
agree.
right back.
All right, I just started the slideshow. Let me see how everything looks on the stream. I'm gonna test us out on YouTube, make sure we sound good. If everybody can give me a mic check, that would be phenomenal.
Stig.
Stig. Okay, I tried pulling this up here. It's saying it's upcoming. Hello.
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Did you put? Does it show on the stream on the Family Ties YouTube? You can hear me. I can hear you. For some reason, it just says waiting. Like.
No, I got the noti. You're live.
I'm live on YouTube.
What is it? Just Family Ties?
Yeah, it should just be the regular one.
Okay. Oh, I got the Baby Keem song.
Yeah, we're just like 30
There
seconds
we go.
to a minute behind.
Okay. Yeah, can you guys talk?
Yo,
Hello.
yo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think we're live.
Bro, why can I not find this?
Yeah, I heard it on the YouTube. I could hear myself. I could hear the double audio.
Paul, you gonna go live on Twitch?
No,
Or
I'm
just
gonna go
YouTube?
straight to YouTube.
Can you send me the link, please?
Yep.
I can't find it.
We already got 5 people in here. Bryce, can you talk real quick?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just want to make sure the stream can hear you.
No, I got the
I bet.
You're live.
I'm live on YouTube.
What is it? Just Family Ties?
I'm sending it to you on Twitter, Adam.
Appreciate it. Oh, I got the Baby Keem song.
Yeah, we're just like 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I hear myself in the background. Yeah, can you guys talk?
How about the new Cincy script helmets, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, no. I just sent it.
You just sent it? Alright, bet. Here we are.
All right, fellas. Since Adam gets the link and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and sending out all the links to everybody.
There we go.
Let's lock in, baby.
Let's lock in, fellas. It's a brand new college football season. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Give me 1 second, and we will get started. Sorry, we're a little bit behind schedule, everybody. Some technical difficulties, but I want to appreciate everybody for stopping in here. I'm going to have the YouTube chat up live. As everybody knows, this is the We Know Ball podcast, this year presented by Family Ties. We like to be an interactive college football podcast. If you see something in the comments you want us to talk about, go ahead and bring it up, and we'll be right here ready to answer your questions. Today, I am joined by my co-hosts, Mr. Bryce Duke and Mr. Adam Smith. And we have a special guest with us today, Big Stigs. As you guys know, we like to spread it out a little bit of different fans here on the channel. And you must be a ball knower to come on the stream. And we want to welcome our Oregon ball knower, Mr. Stigs.
The
Thank you,
Stigler.
guys. Appreciate you for having me on. Appreciate Paul for not bullying me like his team bullied me in the playoffs.
No,
let's get
that's
this
not
going.
right. That's not right. So I want to say today, before we get started, we did change. Now we are the Family Ties presents the We Know Ball podcast because we have two brand new sponsors. G Fuel. Use code Family Ties for 20% off your G Fuel order, the official drink of Family Ties. G Fuel for any energy and hydration that you'll need. They have new energy plus protein packets. They are the go-to drink and the official drink of the We Know Ball podcast. And our other sponsor for today's video is going to be Velocity Esports. This is where family meets fun, located at Newport on the Levee. This is the home of all things Family Ties. Brand new video background, as well as gaming tournaments. They have great food, a great atmosphere for arcade games, bowling, billiards, any of the above. Velocity Esports on the Levee, an official sponsor of the We Know Ball podcast, and we are ready to start week 1.
Let's do it.
So, speaking of Velocity Esports, they wanted to sponsor our first segment. So, where did these players go in the transfer portal? We're going to start off, it's going to get easier to harder. So, the first couple are going to be very easy, and then going on from that, they should get a little bit harder. So, starting us off here, and this is not going to be a first come, first serve. It's basically going to be, I'm going to ask you guys one by one. We'll start out with Stiggs. It's going to be easy. If you don't know it, then the next person can steal. Just kind of knock the rust off here before we start breaking down the topics. I think you guys are going to go 5 for 5, okay? Stiggs, let's start out with a really easy one. We got John Mateer from Washington State. You know where he went.
Thank you for the layup, bro. I appreciate you for starting me off. He's all boomer. We were talking about dark horses before we went off air. No one said him. That's a dark horse Heisman.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so on each of these, I kind of wanted to leave the ground up a little bit to where we can kind of speak a little bit about these players in their new situation as well. That's kind of part of it. So Mateer leaves Washington State. He goes on to Oklahoma. A lot of people are high on Oklahoma going into this year.
With his offensive coordinator, because he brings his offensive coordinator with him.
Yeah, Mateer was really good at Washington State. You guys, do we all think in agreement that this is an upgrade from Arnold?
Yeah, the Arnold they had last year.
Correct. I think the Arnold they had last year, yes. I think Jackson Arnold this year could be very good.
Gotcha.
I agree. Good.
So we start all on the right foot there. So Adam, we're going to go with you next, okay?
Yeah.
These are going to be mostly layups, guys. Just giving us some topics, okay? Carson Beck from Georgia.
Carson Beck, he transferred to Miami.
He did, the Red Hawks. So Carson Beck goes to Miami, Ohio, and no. But Stiggs, I wanted to put this on there because I know we talked about this before. Carson Beck has somehow gone from overrated to underrated in my eyes. He leaves Georgia, where he's getting all this hype and praise, now goes to Miami, where he's kind of forgotten. It's not that he was ever, I think, a top quarterback, but also, like, he's just not mentioned anymore, where I think he should be in the same breaths as those guys like Drew Aller.
Yeah, and it was me and you were kind of in the same opinion of him. It's not that he's not a good quarterback. We were just talking about the preseason Heisman odds last year. He was like top 3. And we were just like, we need to pump the brakes just a little bit. And last season kind of did prove that. But yeah, no, I never thought I'd be the one to have to step in and defend the Carson Beck slander, but it's time. He's a good quarterback. I think Miami will be kind of the same as last year. I think their defense will be a lot better, even though it's completely overhauled. It's kind of hard to be that bad, especially the secondary. But yeah, I think Carson Beck is a rock solid quarterback, maybe even a dark horse Heisman, but it's tough because the weapons are unknown.
Yeah, so, and Bryce, I wanted to see here, obviously big shoes to fill there in Miami with the first overall pick and Cam Ward. Do we think we have a similar team in Miami this year? Because, you know, they open up with Notre Dame. You got to think Miami, great offensively under Cam Ward. Defense was really pretty bad last year, to be blunt about it.
I do think the biggest thing for Miami this year will be their defense. I don't think it's going to be a question if they're going to score points necessarily. I think it's going to be if they're going to be able to prevent people from scoring on them. Last year, if you remember early in the year, they had multiple games where they could have lost. They should have lost, honestly. I believe the game versus Cal, that game went down to the wire where they won last second, like Hail Mary type deal, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. But this year, they need to focus on defense and stopping people from running all over the field.
I agree, and the thing is, I remember exactly what you were talking about, and I don't think that was just a one-time game either. I think they had multiple. Yeah, they did. First comment is Remelin comes in with, yo, thanks for joining in on the show tonight, Chop. So are we all in agreement here? How do we feel about Miami for this coming year?
I think that they are going to be the player in the ACC. I think it will be Clemson 1, Miami 2, and I think it's a big stretch for the next team.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much rock solid the same. I think they'll be good. I don't even know if they play Clemson this year. I didn't check the schedule, but I mean, I think they definitely have the capability to win that game. But I mean, they would have to play lights out, and their defense would just have to be a complete turnaround from last year, which is definitely a stretch. They have a couple good players. They have Ruben Bain. He's like an edge, outside linebacker kind of player, and then they also have a couple. I don't remember either of their names. I think Scott is the one of the last name, and Blay. They're both high 4-star, 5-star defensive tackles that came from Illinois. Oddly enough,
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that randomly, and I'm like, dang, they got 2 5-stars out of Illinois. That's random. But they're
Last year.
supposedly getting good training camp reviews. Sorry, go ahead, Bryce.
No, you're good.
I was going to say last year, Miami, they went on a 3-game stretch where they barely escaped Virginia Tech, 38-34. The following week, they barely escaped Cal, 39-38. And then the week after that, they barely escaped Louisville, 52-45.
Yeah, the Cal game,
So-
I'm pretty sure came down to that Hail Mary in the end zone that had a lot of debate about the
Yep.
interception touchdown, sort of like the Hail Mary there. We'll move on to the next team, though. I just wanted to kind of get our opinions on that because they have a big Week 1 game coming up. So next up, Bryce, this one's for you. We got Nick Anderson, the wide receiver from Oklahoma.
He transferred to LSU. My
Did
boy,
he?
he's going to go cook.
Yeah, he did. Nick Anderson, newly at LSU. He did end up getting hurt last year with the Sooners. Didn't play the second half of the year because of a leg injury. So now we are going to transfer over to LSU and kind of talk a little bit about them. And I think a little bit before we went on air, this was brought up, but I'm not buying the Nussmeier hype because, quite frankly, I'm not sure where it came from. The end of last year, there was not a lot of hype around him, and now all of a sudden, a lot of the quarterbacks are gone, and we're starting to act like these guys who were middle of the pack, maybe upper of the middle of the pack, are like great. And I hate that every year that we do that.
One of the things I think about LSU is kind of the same situation that just happened with Ohio State last year. I think Will Howard and Nussmeier are in a very similar situation. They're both serviceable and they can get the job done, and they are surrounded by a whole bunch of weapons. And I think that's what's going to happen with LSU. I think they just have a lot of dudes everywhere, both sides of the ball, that they can make something happen.
Don't you dare call my Will Howard serviceable. I'm just
He
kidding.
was very serviceable.
Jeremiah Smith,
was-
merchant.
He was great down the stretch. Besides the point,
For real.
that doesn't matter. But LSU is a team to me that, they're getting a lot of offseason hype like they do every single year. And then I always think they're a top 15 or so team, but I don't like to push them higher than that. And they are getting a push again. I think, Stiggs, you brought this up in the pre-show. We were kind of talking about it. When's the last time LSU won a Week 1 game? It's been 5 years. I give LSU credit for playing those games, though. I really like that they do play those tough out-of-conference games, so I don't want to punish them for it. I just don't want to overrate them for it either.
I will follow up on Bryce's point. The weapons. They have another transfer wide receiver, Barry and Brown from UK. If you played CFB 25, you're probably familiar with him because he was the fastest receiver in the game. And they also have Caden Durham, running back. He was a freshman last year, kind of a big play waiting to happen. He's definitely taken the load this year. And like Fake said, defense too. Harold Perkins, they haven't really figured out what role is best for him, but he's a dog. And Whit Weeks, probably my favorite linebacker in college football.
Yeah.
Just a party.
Yeah.
A party waiting to happen.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
like to add that LSU has not won a game since has not won their opening game since 2019 Joe Burrow. They've lost the past 5 straight years, and they're
Who was that
they're-
against? Do you know?
The last time they won,
Yeah. Do you know who they
it
played?
was against Georgia Southern.
Oh, so it wasn't
So-
even like
Yeah.
No,
A
the
big
year
time
after in 2020 they lost to Mississippi State for their season opener, and they lost to UCLA, Florida State, and USC last year.
We're getting some comments coming in. I get Will Howard as a dog, and then I get Will Howard as a serviceable slider from an Oregon fan I know. So we'll just don't know how we go from that. Then we got W Droopy in the chat. He said LSU ain't shit without Joe Burrow. They haven't really been since then, besides Jaden Daniels. As a team, though, I can definitely agree with you on that. They do like to get overhyped, but like you guys are saying, they always have a lot of weapons. And it wasn't that long ago, Stiggs, we were just talking about, 2 years ago or so, how good is Harold Perkins? Going to be the best linebacker in the SEC and everything like that. I mean, he had a ton of hype around him.
Yeah, I don't think it's his fault because I think he might have had an injury, but they keep like his for true freshman year, they played him off the edge as like a true pass rusher, and he got a bunch of sacks and a bunch of pressures, and then they moved him like as in like a off ball stand up outside linebacker, and I think they're moving him again to a different role this year. So it as long as they figure it out, yeah, I think he'll be a dog. But Paul, can I throw a transfer at you? A hard transfer for you?
Oh man,
you're gonna throw it at you.
I might not be prepared for this. I'm down. I'm game though.
All right, it's a former Ohio State running back,
Oh.
Chip Trainum.
Chip Trainum.
Where
okay.
did he go? In state.
So, this is a trick question because he transferred to Kentucky last year.
Ah.
So he went to Kentucky.
It's not in state then. I apologize.
Oh,
It's back to Ohio. It's back to Ohio though.
Okay. Did he end up? Oh man, I feel like I remember seeing this. It's so crazy, his journey. Chip Trainum. Where did he end up?
Didn't mean to put you on blast.
No, you're good. My gut's telling me.
Dude, I swear I've seen this dude on college football playing against him.
I want to say,
I remember.
one of the MAC schools obviously is triggering out to me. I just don't know if I want to say like Akron or Toledo. Am I in the right area there, or am I wrong?
Bad shout.
You're super, super, super duper warm.
Okay. So it's one of those two, I'm guessing. I want to guess. Let's go with Toledo.
He's a Toledo.
He's a Rocket. I figure there's no way he went to Akron because Akron, even in their own conference, is so bad.
The only reason I wanted to bring it up is they're saying Toledo's supposed to be the dog in the MAC this year, potential P5 dark horse to go undefeated.
Yeah, I saw that they were getting some hype. Yeah, weirdly enough, Chip Trainum, Ohio State to Kentucky to Toledo. I mean, what a career there. I thought you were gonna throw me through. I mean, that was a loop. I should have been better on that. But someone guessed in there the Bobcats. That's not a bad guess.
That's not a bad shot, but they got Parker Navarro still.
Yeah, they do. But
Toledo plays UK week 1. That's why I brought that up.
That is such a sneaky game. Oh, hold on. Are you telling me it's a Chip Trainum revenge game?
Revenge tour.
Revenge tour. Yeah. So, wow, that's a good nugget there. Thank you for that, Stiggs. I didn't even pick up on that.
Didn't mean to throw off.
No, I'm all for it. Whatever you have, seriously. Anything like that, go ahead. So we're back to you now, Stiggs, on the transfers. What about the Missouri? I remember this guy getting a lot of hype as well. Oh man, I always struggle with this. Williams. How do you say it with me? Nawarni. Yeah, okay. You know who I'm talking about. Where did he transfer to?
He went to Big Matt Rule. He's a Husker.
He is a Husker. We're going to see him tomorrow night.
I did not know that.
He will be playing against the Bearcats tomorrow night.
So Cotton's liking this. So.
That was honestly kind of a tough one. I had to think for just a second, but I remembered that I saw, I think it was a tweet maybe, that he went to Nebraska, which good pickup.
Yeah,
good
definitely.
Pickup. He was former 5-star, former Boomer commit.
Yeah. Yeah, Boomer commit, ended up going to Mizzou. Now he's in Nebraska. How do we feel about Nebraska? I wanted to bring this up a little bit because Josh Pate put Nebraska in his college football playoff prediction this year. I think I'm a little bit higher on them from before. And that's more of Matt Rule in his 3rd season. And I also wanted to bring up because Adam plays them tomorrow. So
take it away, Adam. This is you.
Yeah, this one. I mean, how are you feeling about this one, Adam?
Try and give us your truest, unbiased take.
He said UC by 40 tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, the bias in me wants me to pick UC, but I don't. I think it'll be a close game. I think they're probably more talented than us, but I do think as a whole, UC could be a sleeper in the Big 12. I know I'm sounding biased. I think a lot of
That's not a
people
crazy take.
are sleeping on Brendan Sorsby a little bit. I mean, I know he was pretty bad in the second half last year. Apparently, it was like a thumb injury or something. But if he's good for a full season and not just a half season, I think that elevates the level that we play at by a significant margin. The running backs are pretty good. You know, you lose Corey Kiner, but you still got Tywee and Evan Pryor there. Jet Royer's back. Dante Corleone's back. A lot of the defense is back too, but I think overall the talent is a lot better than last year.
Yeah, it's not ridiculous to say that about UC
think it
making a
is.
dark horse run. We get a comment in there. That boy in Warner went and got a bag. Yeah, he did. He did. He. And I put this one on here because, like you said, Sticks, he kind of flew under the radar in the transfer portal. Like, I don't know if it was like not a very long process. I didn't hear teams in the mix for him or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear any big name teams in the mix for him. Which, I mean, what do you guys? You guys still consider Nebraska a big name team? That might be on me.
No, I mean, I consider them a
Kinda.
middle of the pack.
If they were to get hot again and start winning games, they would absolutely be a big name team.
Oh yeah.
For
They're just
sure.
like
It's just been
they are a
30
fallen
years.
soldier waiting to rise again.
I think they're gonna. I
I
think they're on the trend up, though. Realistically.
Maybe
Before
their
under
schedule this
Will,
year is very favorable. They only, as it stands, the only ranked teams they play are Michigan and Penn State, and that's it.
Yep.
They have a very favorable schedule.
Could go 10-2.
So, I wanted to bring this up before I forget because his name's hard to remember. Nebraska had another transfer that came in. The Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year, the highest graded PFF linebacker, Marquise Watson Trent.
Okay, I heard of
Apparently,
him. Yeah.
he's a dog.
What a name!
Yeah, he had well, I just listened to the podcast before this. It was like a 90.4 overall grade. Apparently, also Nebraska has a salty run defense and a salty front seven. So he probably, I mean, that's just typical Nebraska. So definitely not
Yeah.
shocked by that. And yeah, he's going to add to that. So UC is going to have to win running the ball, and it's going to be tough.
Yep.
But still think it's a 50-50 game, like I said earlier.
Speaking of this game, did you guys see the quote that came from the Nebraska DB earlier today?
Oh, the wheelchair.
The wheelchair
Yeah,
quote. Yeah, I mean that one might go down as an elite one, but yeah, I mean the more and more we talk about it, that's more and more why I kind of believe a little bit more in Nebraska. Favorable schedule, great transfer portal pickups. Rayola's in his second year. We got to remember he started as a true freshman last year. I mean, he's a 5-star as well. He's got potential. I'm not saying that he's going to be great. So it's a big game for the Bearcats. I think if they win, I don't think Nebraska's going to have a fall-off season. I mean, they had a couple tough losses last year. We got to remember, Indiana beat this team by 40 points last year. 40.
Another
points.
good nugget for this game. I just remembered another nugget. It was the PFF podcast I was listening to. That's why I'm throwing out these grades. So Dylan Raiola, the number 8 quarterback against zone coverage. UC's defensive coordinator runs like 80% zone coverage. Apparently that's like all they ran last year. I don't know if that was a personnel thing. Adam might be able to speak to that more because UC's normally got pretty good DBs, so I didn't think man coverage would really be a problem. So yeah, that's just something to look out for too. If they sit back in zone, Dylan Raiola is probably going to take a step up. Just he's a 5-star. He looked pretty solid last year, and if he was strong against zone and UC plays a bunch of zone, that might not be a good recipe for the W.
Yeah, how are you feeling about that, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the secondary got replaced. Like we got, I think one of our guys ended up at Central Michigan. He's not even starting there. We got Matthew McDoom in the portal from Coastal Carolina, who's supposed to be a dog.
Good
We
pickup,
got
yeah.
Rodney Harrison's son, Christian, is playing safety. He was at Tennessee last year. Kai Stokes is back. He was pretty solid last year. Antoine Peak Jr., who is the son of a Bearcat legend, Antoine Peak Sr., but he was a pretty good in the star position. So I mean, there's a couple guys returning, but pretty much an overhaul in the secondary. So it might be a little bit better personnel this year.
Sounds good. We're gonna move on to the next one. And was it Adam or Bryce that was up next?
Me, I
I
think.
think Adam.
That's Mr.
Yeah,
Adam.
it was Adam.
Adam, I'm sorry, but I want to give this to Bryce, okay? Just because of something that I said earlier. So we're going to move on here. Thomas Castellanos, Boston College.
That's the Florida State champ.
Yeah, see, that's... So
Right.
Bryce asked me earlier,
that.
he said, who's the starting quarterback for Florida State? I said, funny enough, you said that. I'm not going to give you the answer because it's actually in the thing. So we kind of talked about this a little bit before pre-show. That's, again, Stiggs, exactly what we were saying. Does Florida State have a chance on Saturday against Bama? The spread's 14 and a half, 13 and a half, somewhere around there. I mean, Castellanos, coming from Boston College, Alabama, all their losses struggled with mobile quarterbacks last year. Is it going to be the same blueprint for this Alabama team or not?
My personal opinion, I mean, I'm high on Bama. I think Bama is the most talented team if you take a look at the roster without the quarterback. Just overall dudes, Bama's got a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
But the just to play devil's advocate for Florida State, they got Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, they do.
And he took Nick Marshall to a national championship game, and that's a converted wide receiver to a quarterback. I would kind of feel Tommy Castellanos kind of plays a similar game, more run first, throw short passes, RPO game. So if Gus can get Tommy going, and like you guys said, Bama typically struggles with mobile quarterbacks. So could be something to keep an eye on, but if I was betting, I would bet Bama to cover.
Yeah, I think so too. The spread's a little bit lower than I would have thought.
Is it 14?
I have it right now. CBS Sports lists this game sitting at let me see here 1 second. Sorry. The current spread for this game is sitting at 13.5 favoring Bama. Over under 50.5. The thing is, for me, more of this relies almost on Florida State. I mean, we have to think about the 2-10 season they had last year. Improvements, yes. How big of an improvement are we talking about? Also, Florida State, you guys would be so surprised. I don't know how much. I know Bryce said he doesn't delve into recruiting that much. People really think Florida State recruits better than they do. They have not been a hot recruiting team in quite some time. The talent-wise, I think it's a pretty big discrepancy, to be honest with you. I think Bama covers. And I don't know how... I mean, this game is at Bama, too, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? No, it's at Florida State. I'm sorry. It's at Florida State. So it's week 1, clean slate. Bama got a new quarterback. It's not Jalen Milroe anymore. He just has to be serviceable. Bama's just going to out-talent them, in my opinion.
You think that Bama wins by 3 scores?
Oh, man. See, this is what's going to trip me up, though, because I'm picturing the Oklahoma game with Bama in my head. I'm picturing the Vanderbilt game with Bama in my head. You know what I mean? Like, is that team gone? Are they gone? Because they were out-talenting all those teams, too, and still found ways to lose, and some not that close.
One quick nugget that hasn't been brought up. Bama did reunite DeBoer with Grubb, the OC from Washington, from
That's right.
their Pac-12 title, national championship runs a couple seasons in a row. So that could be something to keep an eye on as well, because Bama's got weapons.
Yep. Brian Williams is the best player in this game, for sure. We're getting some comments. Shark with a W, Views with a W. I guess Austin wants us to talk about Ole Miss.
Ooh, let's
Ole Miss.
do that.
Interesting.
How you guys feel about the quarterback? Hearing some
So
good reviews on him. Austin Simmons, right?
Austin
Yeah.
Simmons, yeah.
A little lefty.
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss is one of those teams, like I kind of talked about. I always think they're a top 20 team in the country. They've yet to really do anything besides that, though.
Do you guys think that they reloaded or are they rebuilding?
I mean, Jackson Dart went. What overall pick did Dart go? I mean, he went.
The 20th, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
he was a late first rounder, right?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Say, I mean, those are big shoes to fill.
Trey Harris was a second round or third round pick,
Yeah,
too.
I don't know. I mean,
Bryce, Deshaun Stribling. That's going to be one of their receivers this year, I believe.
Yep, he transferred there.
Yeah,
I'm very curious to see how they do. You know who
Yeah,
else
'cause
transferred there?
I know.
Milwaukee Smith. He is a backup quarterback for Ole Miss, who also transferred there from Oklahoma State. And I think
Really?
if this first guy ends up being a bum, he will come in to be a starter.
okay, I think
That's interesting. They're
So-
going a quarterback.
so. Stiggs, I think the chat's trying to test our ball knowledge here. Grant comes in and said, "What about UTSA?"
Oh, you don't know about
The
Colson
Road
Bobcat?
Runners? Yeah, that's what I mean. He's
You don't know about them Roadrunners?
the Road Runners.
Roadrunners.
Yeah.
Love my Road Runners. Drop some
No,
knowledge
sorry.
real quick, Stiggs.
I'm sorry. That was the wrong quarterback. Their quarterback is actually Owen McCown. I remember because that's who I started my dynasty with in CFB 25. Apparently he's a dog in real life.
Know
he's
where he
only like
transferred from?
No, did he come from was he a Pistol Pete?
No, he came from Colorado.
Ah, that's a good nugget to have. Yeah, I remember seeing he threw for like over 4,000 yards last year, which was the most in their conference. Is that the Sun Belt?
I think they're in the Sun Belt. Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, G2. That's the best team you could have dropped because I happen to know because our offensive coordinator, Oregon, Will Stein, that's where he came from. He came from UTSA, the Roadrunner offense. They're always known for a good offense. Also, they had a left-handed quarterback, Franco Harris, that was a dog for them for like 3 or 4 years.
I love their stadium. I think their stadium is unique.
The Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they play in like a professional stadium.
Yeah. CJ comes in the chat. Florida State won 2 games. What are we talking about? That's what he says. I mean,
Right.
CJ.
and
I have to play devil's advocate, but yeah, I'm betting Bama to
Yeah.
cover for sure.
yeah, that's kind of where we're at here. So next topic. Now I want to go over the college football playoff projections. So I listened to a couple different podcasts, and they all gave their dark horse for each conference. Now I'm not talking about a favorite. I want to hear who's going to be this year's Indiana. Who do you think is a dark horse who can legitly make the playoff? I'm not saying they have to win the conference or anything. Maybe based off schedule, maybe based off, transfers, anything like that. And I'm going to go ahead and start each of us. We don't have to take super long on each conference because that'll take a while. We just want to do the 4 major ones. Let's go ahead and start with the SEC. And I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Bryce. Who's your dark horse that could, maybe make the playoff for the first time from the SEC?
I think South Carolina has a realistic chance. Their schedule's pretty tough, but if they are to do anything like they did last year, especially with this new format, I think that they have a chance to potentially make the college football playoff as a lower seed, like maybe in the 10, 11, 12 seed, somewhere in there. Barely sneak in, but I think they have a chance to do it.
All right, Adam, I'll switch over to you.
I was gonna say South Carolina, but I'm gonna go like I was saying before. I'm gonna go with Florida.
Okay.
I mean, I know their schedule is pretty tough, like South Carolina's, but I think DJ Lagway is legit. And they can somehow get 1 or 2 of those games to flip into their way. I think they can make.
Yeah, the schedule's not in their favor, but I mean, if they're as good as they're starting to get hyped up to be, then they might be able to take a lot of them, and the strength of schedule will go in their way. Stiggs, do you have a dark horse? Is it one of those 2, or do you have a different one?
Yeah, it was actually, I was going to say South Carolina, then I was going to move to Florida, but I'll throw out, even though they've already made the playoff, technically the 4-team era, I think it would be a dark horse to Oklahoma for them to make the playoff just because of how they looked last year. But yeah, they could definitely do it with Mateer.
All right, so that's a good one. Mine that is going to be a dark horse. I was going back and forth between two teams, and it actually wasn't any of the two that you guys said. Um, Schedule wise and talent wise, I was going back and forth. What do you guys think? I was going with Auburn, or I was going to go with Missouri just based off schedule. Missouri's been one of those teams that kind of floats towards the 20s in the rankings recently, but like you said, Bryce, their schedule is such a cakewalk. Auburn, on the other hand, I think might just be one of those better teams that is going to be able to compete. They have a lot. I'm not sure how much people really realize Auburn brought in around Arnold on their own.
Yeah, I was actually thinking Auburn there for a second, but
I might have to disagree with y'all on Auburn. I think Auburn's going to struggle to make a bowl game this year. I don't
Wow.
think they're going to do too
Okay.
good. Outside of, they have a couple of easy games early on. They play Mercer, South Alabama, All State. Those are their three non-com, and the one non-com
They
they
play
play
Baylor.
is at Baylor, which
Yep.
I think they could easily lose that game. I don't think that's a lock for a win at all. Not to mention, they are going to have to play at OU, at Texas A&M, home versus Georgia. They play at Vandy. Vandy might be good this year. We'll see. And then they finish their season with Bama. I think Auburn's best case scenario is 7-5 this year. I don't think that they're going to be even close to sniffing the playoff.
I think Auburn
Maybe I'm
beats Oklahoma. That's
They might.
I would say
They
that,
might.
but
They barely lost to them last year. They threw that game away at the end. They should have beat them last year.
I think their transfer
I'm,
portal is why I'm on that. Why I'm on that run for them.
I'm not as low as Fakes on the like 7-5, but I'm not as high as the playoff. I think they're still about 1 year away. Like I think Jackson Arnold will be better, but they got a kid Deuce Knight who is 5-star. That's going to be their guy for the future, and if they continue to recruit, I think they're 1 year away.
All right, next we can move on over to the Big Ten. Let's do a reverse order this time. So Stiggs, let's start with your home conference.
Yeah, definitely. I called off camera the dark horse Fernando Mendoza, Indiana. So I'm going to pick them again. They have a decent amount of talent as well. They have a really
do.
good receiver in Elijah Surratt.
Yes, they do.
Looking at the 2026 draft class, the receiver, other than Jordan Tyson and USC has a couple guys. I don't see anybody as a dominant wide receiver one. So I think Surratt could definitely take that. And also they have a absolute dog 5'9" corner in D'Angelo Pounds, who they just kind of had to throw in the fire due to injuries. And he ended up just being a dog. He even guarded Jeremiah Smith pretty well.
Yeah.
Which is tough to do at that size.
I actually really like that answer because I think a lot of people were kind of thinking Indiana was fluky. Indiana was probably overrated. The only two teams they lost to last year were the two teams in the national championship. But I think Indiana's going to be a mainstay. Not 11-1 every year, but I mean, as cringy as it is, Signetti saying "Google me." I mean, if you actually do Google him, he does win. He really does win.
wrong.
He's a very strong transfer portal coach. I think that's a good pick. Let's go on over to Bryce. Bryce, who do you have out of the Big Ten who's kind of that dark horse?
For somebody that hasn't made the playoff yet in this format,
They could have made it. You don't have to.
That's okay. I think Washington has a sneaky chance to make some noise this year.
Took my pick.
I feel like they're kind of
Took my pick.
underrated.
I love Damon Williams.
Yeah, you took my pick.
They have an offensive tack, especially with their receivers. They are kind of loaded with receivers again, kind of like how they were a couple of years ago when they made the Natty. So I think Washington have a chance to maybe sneak away and win some games they shouldn't this year and find a way into the playoff.
Fun fact about Washington, they have 3 of their 4 toughest games at home this year, and they have a very strong home atmosphere. I'm pretty sure they're at 20 or so.
Underrated. As much
Underrated.
as I hate to say it, as an Oregon fan, yeah, it's an underrated atmosphere. And to Bryce's point, Jonah Coleman, David Boston, Damon Williams, it's a good 3-headed monster.
Yep, so now we'll go on over to Adam.
I don't know if this team's like really a sleeper. I mean, they kind of are, but I'm gonna go with Illinois. I think Luke Altmaier, if he takes this step up that people think he's going to, they play. I mean, their schedule isn't really that. They play at Indiana, which I think they're kind of equal, and then at home against Ohio State. Realistically, they could go 11-1. I think they have the talent to do it.
That's valid. They don't have a crazy schedule at all. They
No.
finished their stretch with Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Northwestern.
Yep.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty
That's
good
pretty
schedule
capable.
for them. That's
Real
easier
quick.
than Indiana.
No one even thinking about USC just yet. I mean, I know they're recruiting crazy right now, but
I am not,
not
and
personally.
I'm letting you guys all go first, and I'm still not thinking USC. Originally, I was going to say Washington, but actually, next up, we kind of talked about it a little bit. I'm actually going to say Nebraska here, and I think that Matt Rule in year 3 traditionally has always taken a big step up, had a really, 10-win season or so like that. But like we talked about earlier, you look at their schedule. You dodge Oregon, you dodge Ohio State. You have a tough one at Penn State, but two losses you can get in the playoff at 10-2, and I think their schedule kind of favors them. They get Michigan at home early. They do play USC, but they get them at home as well. The Nebraska home environment is always phenomenal, whether the sellout is real or not. But they close out with Iowa. But I mean, just overall, like none of those are like crazy powerhouses. I mean, obviously I have them losing at Penn State late in the year, but I mean, if they can, go 10-2 or so, I think that they could be a team to make the playoff. Next up, let's go on to we got Bryce and Adam's conference. We just switched from mine and Stig's, so let's go on to the Big 12. And you guys are not allowed to say Oklahoma State or Cincinnati.
Damn it.
I'm just kidding. You guys can
Okay.
say that if you guys want that.
Okay.
Adam, let's start with you.
I have two kind of in mind. Texas Tech has been getting a lot of hype. They've been spending money like crazy. They got tons of talent on that team now. I think they could make the run. But I'm going to personally go with Baylor. I love Sawyer Robinson. I think he's a dog. They got a strong running back room too. Wide receivers are pretty decent. I think they do have the talent, as we said before, to beat even like Auburn, and they can make a run in the Big 12 because everyone knows that the Big 12 is so unpredictable.
Yep. Bryce?
I'm kind of torn here. There's a couple of different teams in this league. I think this is without a doubt the hardest league to choose from, just because I feel like anybody can beat anybody, literally any weekend.
You could have said Arizona State in Week 9 last year, and it still would have been a dark horse. And they made it.
And I don't even think Arizona State's going to be what they were last year.
I
think
don't
that
either.
was a one-man team last year.
I do too.
If I had to give a specific team, I'd probably say Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is they have a quarterback, Baron Morton. He's been there for years now, but the dude he's finally, if he's healthy and he can stay healthy all year, they're going to have the weapons. They're going to have talent all around them to do something. Their schedule, pretty favorable. They play at Arizona State, which I don't think will be any good. At Kansas State, maybe tough, may not. I think Texas Tech is going to be the team to beat this year, the team to look out for. Everyone, I mean, they are the storyline this year for the Big 12. They have that NIL oil money, and I feel like if there's any team that can do it, that's them.
Gotcha. Stiggs?
yeah, I got two, and I'll be
Okay.
quick just because I got two. I will give Adam Cincinnati some flowers because I think they are a true dark horse. If their offense clicks, they could be a deadly rushing attack because they have a power back, a speed back, a good tight end, and a quarterback that can run. If they get production from the receivers, they could definitely do it. But my actual true pick, I'm going Utah, man.
Took my
Whittingham,
pick.
one of the most underrated coaches.
I thought that was going to be dark horse enough. Good pick, Stiggs.
They flipped their roster around, and similar to Oklahoma, they brought in New Mexico State's QB and offensive coordinator. Their QB ran for over 1,000 yards. had like 30 something total touchdowns. Think they could be a real problem.
Yeah, you took my pick right out of my. I was like, oh man, no one's gonna take them. I was like, they're back, Whittingham and everything. They have a great home environment as well. But yeah, so you guys, the next up team that I would say is actually a dark horse that wouldn't be, Kansas State or Iowa State at this point. You guys might call me crazy for this, but I'm actually leaning more towards BYU. They kind of always
That's
float
who
in that
I was
range.
trying to pick between. I was picking between Texas Tech and BYU.
Yeah, BYU is another team that's been pretty consistent lately. I mean, they've had a good quarterback run, starting with Zach Wilson and to where we are now. I saw some people being pretty high on Colorado, but BYU overall, that's going to be my pick. I really like Utah, though, as the real dark horse to win this, though. That was a great pick, Stiggs. I got to tip my cap to that.
Real quick on BYU though, their quarterback got like kicked off the team.
Yeah,
He's
it was
he's at Tulane,
Tulane
now.
now,
It's a
yeah.
true
It was
true
Ratliff, right?
freshman,
Bear Bachmeyer.
yeah, Resloff.
Reslov, yeah.
Yeah, and Bear Bachmeyer transferred from Stanford. His brother's on the team too. Going to be the first true freshman to start for BYU in a while.
So I started with. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Number 47, just had to throw that out there, or like 48 or something. It's atrocious looking.
Gosh.
As a quarterback, that's crazy.
So,
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
So let's go on over to the ACC now. I think we went with Bryce or Adam to start last time, and Stiggs before that. So let's start with you, Bryce. How are you feeling as a dark horse in the ACC that's not going to be like Clemson, Miami?
I don't know how much if y'all are gonna like this pick or not, but I think Pitt. I think it's gonna be an underrated team this year. They don't play hardly anybody decent on the schedule. They go to West Virginia early on. They do play Notre Dame, and they finish their season with Miami. But like you said, even with 2 losses, you can still make the college football playoff. And even if they lose one conference game to Miami, maybe another, they could still play for the ACC championship. So I think Pitt's going to be a sleeper team this year to look out for.
Stiggs, what about you?
I'm going to go with the team that everyone's kind of predicting right behind Clemson and Miami this year, and that's Louisville.
Yep.
They got a solid coach in Brom. I'm sorry, Adam. They got a solid coach in Brian Brom, and they brought in the USC quarterback Miller Moss, and
Yep.
Brian Brom made Tyler Shuck get drafted in the 2nd round somehow. So I think he can probably do good things with Miller Moss too. I think the problems were a little deeper than Miller Moss at USC.
Agree with you on there. That's a good one as well. Adam?
Yeah, I have my pick taken there. I kind of got 2 here. North Carolina, I think, could make some. I really like their quarterback, Gio Lopez, the transfer from South Alabama. And of course, Bill Belichick being there. I think they could be sneaky, but I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech.
Good pick. Haynes
Just 'cause
King.
Haynes King, basically, he
Right.
was really good last year. I expect them to do the same thing. They, like we said earlier, they play Colorado week 1. I think that's a good test to start out, see where they're at. I think they could make a run.
So I was going back and forth here between a couple. I wasn't going to go California. Devin Brown lost the starting job there, which is crazy to kind of think about. There's 2 of them that I was looking at here that I was like, man, I really don't know between the 2. First thing I'm going to say is Duke. Manny Diaz has done a great job leading that team since he's been there. They've been on the upward trajectory. But realistically, a team that I don't see a lot of people winning the ACC. How about the team that was in the ACC championship last year, returning their quarterback, and that's SMU. I mean, they start preseason ranked. Maybe you guys don't think that's dark horse enough, though. Is that kind of where we're at? Like they're a favorite?
No, they lost a lot.
Right, that's what I was going to say. I mean, they're still starting out preseason ranked in the AP poll. They returned their quarterback. I like their coach a lot. I going between Duke and SMU were kind of the 2 that I have. I guess that I realistically I was going to say either Duke Georgia Tech. I really like what you guys said. Louisville's a good pick as well. We can move on from that. And Stiggs, I know you said getting late. Whenever you have to leave us, that's completely fine. Just let us know, brother.
No, I'm locked in for a
You're
little bit
locked.
longer. We're good.
All right,
Let's go.
sounds good. Sounds good. Let's move on to the next thing that we were going to talk about here. College football playoff. Expansion or no? Bryce, we were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier. What is your guys' opinion on the current playoff? Do we like the 12 team? Do we want to go to 16? We're hearing crazy takes out there at 28. Obviously, that sounds like a lot. Would we rather go back to 4? Would we prefer the BCS? I mean, overall, just what's your opinion on it? And let's keep the guys locked in. That's Stiggs. Let's go ahead and roll with you first here.
Yeah, I was originally I like the 4 team, but now that like they gave us the 12 team, like I like the 12 team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of the things where like I wasn't really a big fan of expanding, but now that they expanded, I'm fine with it. So yeah, we can just keep it at 12. I don't think there's realistically 16 or 24 teams that could win it. That's just me though, just with how college football's going with NIL and all that yada yada. We don't have to talk about that though.
Yeah, I think we are on the way to 16, almost inevitably at least. I just don't know when. But once we get past that, I don't know how much farther we would really want to go. Let's go on over Adam. What do you think?
I like the 12 team, honestly. I like it better now that don't get the guaranteed bye for winning the conference. I think it should just be the best 4 teams get a bye. 16, I don't think would be too bad, I guess. But the ideas that thrown out there of 28 and 32, that's absolutely ridiculous to me. Just because I don't think there's that many teams even close enough to winning the Natty, in my opinion, at least. See, I think they should just keep it at 12, the way it is now.
Okay. And Bryce?
I like 12 right now. I wouldn't mind expansion if we made some sort of plan. So if there was a way to where, like, even if you made your conference championship game, you get to play in a play-in game for a seed. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like if making your conference championship, especially now with there only being 4 conferences, not 5, but 4 major conferences, making that championship game means more than it ever has before. And if they were to make play-in games for seeds, I wouldn't mind expanding it that way. But I think 12 right now for a couple of years just to see how it rolls, how it runs. I like where it's at.
How dare how dare him, Stiggs, talk down on Oregon State and the Power 5 like that?
It's not with me, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm.
If they do 24, just follow the FCS structure. They've been doing 24 for the longest time, and it seems to be working fine down there. The same teams, programs are always winning and stuff. So, I mean, I don't think it would change too much, but they seem to have it figured out.
I agree with you guys. Here's the thing for me. I kind of said it a little bit. I'm just going to touch on it. I like the 12. I wouldn't mind the 16. I'm always on board for playing the games, though. And I was talking to Bryce about that a little bit earlier. I don't want you to tell me who's better. I want to see it. And I don't think that this might be a hot take. I don't think getting blown out in the playoff shows that you shouldn't be there. I think you just earn that right to be in that game more than the other teams. Now, how the results fold, that's a different story. Are the seeds wrong or anything like that? Like we said, teams who got buys were wrong. But I'm not of the case that just because of the result going another way means that a team shouldn't be there or didn't deserve it. Even if there's a blowout, I'd rather know that there's a blowout. Okay, Notre Dame blew out Indiana. Okay, instead of just guessing and telling me that, thank you for showing it to me on the field. That's the best way to get results is based on the field. That's how I feel about it. And we never have these matchups, that we have dream scenarios of now that are happening in the college football playoff that are expanded. Teams and games that, just are so awesome for the sport, and it really limits the opt-outs. The more expansion we have, the less opt-outs we'll have. That's kind of my take on it.
No, I know we talked about this earlier. What's y'all's opinion on having a mini playoff inside the conference? So like the top 4 teams play for the conference championship. What's y'all's opinion on that?
I think
And
they're
you
gonna
know
have to
that
shorten the regular season to do that, just because like that's so many games.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's true. What about what if that was part of the playoff? Like the top 4 teams from each conference. That's whenever the playoffs start. Like if you win your first game and make the conference championship, then you get locked into a seed. You get an automatic bid to the college football playoff. How do y'all feel about that?
Um, I think that the right way to go about it, for that would be almost keep the conference championships how they are, but make the regular season different. And what I mean by that is, I think that the new rule with the SEC moving to 9 conference games is great, but I think their out of conference, non-conference rule is one of the best things I've seen in the sport in a long time. And you must play a non-conference game that is a power opponent, either from the Big 12, ACC, or Big 10. I think that's a phenomenal rule, and I think that will help college football overall. You know, if you talk to people who don't watch college or don't like college and they like the NFL, what do they say? Why don't you like college? Oh, because there are games that are 50-0 or 50-7 every week. Like, you know who's going to win and everything. Like, what's the point? I think that would limit that and really help. And I also think that would help with scheduling. You can keep those non-conference games. They deserve the little bit of a break. If you get to the top 2 of your conference, I, I think that it's okay to have one game as a championship. That, or if you're going to have, I don't know. As much as it sounds stupid or anything. Yeah, hello? Can you guys hear me the whole time? Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
You guys hear me?
What just
Okay.
happened?
I was talking that whole
Yeah.
time. Could you guys hear me?
I got
you
cut out.
cut out, ran like right in the middle.
yeah,
Oh,
we're
man.
back now, right?
Yeah.
I think so. That was crazy.
Man, I was on a rant too. That's what's crazy. But
The stream
meant
probably
to be.
caught it.
yeah, the stream probably got it. Well, which is fine. We'll get back to that. But basically, my reasoning was I think the conference championships are fine. Either scrap them if they're not going to mean anything, or I really like the new SEC way of the non-conference and playing 9 conference games. I think that helps a lot of college football. Did I cut out again?
No, you're good.
Okay, I was-
agree.
What you guys think there should be like a mini playoff in the play like for the conference
I
or no?
don't know.
You
I think
don't?
it
No,
could be
I'm-
exciting for the conference.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting concept for sure, but I'm kind of with Paul. He's the fun matchups. I always like seeing the cool matchups, that you don't really get to see. Like just personally for me, like if Oregon were to make the playoff this year, I want to play someone like Clemson or someone we don't really play that much. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine like in the Big Ten though, like uh, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Michigan as a mini playoff just within the conference, competing for the conference championship. Like imagine Ohio State versus Michigan round 1, and then Oregon versus Penn State, and then the winner of that plays for the conference championship. I think that would be crazy. And
you
I think
think-
it would be fun for the sport.
Do you think that would belittle some of the regular season games though?
Absolutely not. You got to you'd have to. First of all, I think it makes it fair for everybody. Instead of having to compete for a top 2 spot, it gives chance for you to be a top 4 spot and to still compete for a conference championship. So even if you're down or you have a loss, you're not being punished as badly later on down the stretch. Like you always have a chance to come back. If you have a really bad early season loss, especially in conference, I think that could help you later down the stretch. If you go on an insane run, you're not still being punished for who you were earlier in the season. So I think an in-season mini conference tournament would be good.
I just don't agree for the simple fact, like I don't think you're rewarding the top team very much if you can get in the same exact game going 8-4, 9-3 as you are going 12-0 at that point.
I think at the same point though, prove it. Like prove who's the best team. You prove it on the field.
Sure, I think that you could have already proved it by winning and going undefeated. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm sorry, Stiggs, I'm gonna say it, but I think like the format was pretty flawed in the playoff itself last year with the Oregon's draw. I think it should reseed after each round, personally.
I
Yeah.
don't agree with the reseeding, but I am glad that they fixed it to where the only reason why Oregon got a bad draw was because they gave Boise State an automatic bye and Arizona State an automatic bye, and that's the reason why it was awkward and the buys didn't favor Oregon. I think now that it's the best 4 teams, you don't have to worry about catching a stray on accident. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think,
Oregon caught a
Stiggs?
stray.
Yeah.
I
don't
Oregon
know.
Ohio State round 2.
Oregon caught a stray from hell, man.
For real.
But yeah, no. I, I think they tweaked it a little bit. They're probably going to keep tweaking the 12 until they expand again, just for money and all that good stuff. But yeah, I think it's fine how they tweaked it. Like Bryce said, 4 best teams don't have to have a conference chip. It's not the 4 conference champions. But yeah, like to Paul's point, I don't want to belittle any games before the playoff, and especially the conference championship. And some people say that it does belittle the conference championship in a way. So I don't think it does personally, but
Gotcha. I don't want to spend too much time on this. The next one, that's going to be our preseason rankings. There's maybe we can just talk about some of the ones that are kind of surprising. Here we got Adam on the left, me in the middle, and I got Bryce on the right. Preseason rankings are always a sham because there's so much unknown. But we can just kind of go over a couple teams that we're very indifferent on, very not indifferent on, I guess. Me and Adam both have Texas #1, it looks like. Bryce starts out with Ohio State. I don't know if that's just because they won the Natty or he actually believes that, but he has Texas all the way down at 5. What are some of the discrepancies I'm looking at here? I'm a lot lower on Florida than almost everybody. I'm a lot lower on. It looks like. I have Utah in my starting. I had 24 in my rankings. I don't know if anyone else was kind of around that. I see Bryce is starting with Oklahoma State ranked.
24. I'm telling you guys right now, we have brand new staff and we brought in almost 40 new players into our program. This is going to be a completely different team with brand new quarterbacks. This is a brand new roster. This is something that we've never seen before. And I look back at other teams that's done something similar. I don't know if you guys remember Texas State from a couple of years ago, a couple of years ago. Texas State had brought in, I think, 45 players through the portal, and they turned their season around, and they went like 11-2. They had a crazy season. There's been other cases of other teams bringing in insane amounts of players and turning their seasons around from what they were the year before. I think along with that and Gundy having to coach for his job after a 3-9 season, I don't see how we're not going to be a solid team. Now, there's definitely some bias in there, not going to lie, but I'm definitely high on this team because I know the talent we have now. I know the coaches we have, what we've already done in this offseason to change things. I like Oklahoma State as a top 25 team.
I also noticed that you start with North Carolina at 16. So you're pretty high on them. Bill Belichick hype. Okay. I'm a little bit lower on teams like LSU. I have them a little bit lower. I had a couple other teams pretty low. LSU is basically kind of what we talked about earlier, though, Stiggs. I'm not a Nuss believer at this point. Like, he has to show me. I don't want to give him that very upper echelon until he earns it. If you look at my teams, the top 7 are all teams that were in there last year, that were in the playoff last year. That's exactly how it is kind of ranked. I ranked them basically kind of off that. It's like, and then afterwards, I got Bama. You know, a lot of the perennial teams who have been competing. I like how we all didn't punish Kansas State for losing. I think they lost to a good team. But it seems a lot of people are really high on Florida, and I get it. I think it's a small sample size to base off of completely. with Lagway. I want to see a full season under his belt before I do that. That's my reasoning. But overall, preseason rankings, this is throwing something at a wall and hoping it sticks until we actually see the footing of these teams. I mean, what Florida State was in the top 10 to start last year. I mean, and they ended up 2-10. So I didn't want to harp too much longer on this. We can kind of go more over on the rankings as the season goes on. Just kind of want to check in each week to see where we're at. And Bryce,
Real quick, Paul.
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say I see a big variance on one team. See what you guys think about it. So you have Arizona State 25. Bryce doesn't have them ranked, and Adam
yeah.
has them
12. Yeah.
So that's a big all over the place variance. You guys are kind of all over the place. I just thought that was intriguing.
I'm on the on the likes with Bryce here. I mean, I put Arizona State at 25 just because they did end up winning last year. But, I mean, I think they lost a lot. I mean, Scatterboo was the heart of that team. Adam, do you have anything to say here? Or?
I kind of more so rewarded them for how they were last year and where about they are in the preseason poll now. But, I mean, they do lose Scatterboo, who was the biggest part of that team last year. But Sam Levitt was still really good. They still have him. They still have Jordan Tyson, who I think is a... So, I mean, they still have a decent core there. And like I said before, the Big 12 is so unpredictable. They could go on another run again. Because you don't really know who can be who on whatever.
I want you guys to guess how many one-score games Arizona State was in last year.
4.
Everyone, I feel like.
They played 14 games, by the way.
Go like 6.
Let's say 9.
Oh.
I said 4, so I was way off, yeah.
They had 7. They were in 7 one-score games, and they went 6-1 in those games.
The one was Texas then, right?
It was Texas Tech was the one that they
Texas
lost.
Tech.
Oh yeah, I'm not even including Texas. So they were in 8. They were in 8 one-score games. So they went 6-2 last year in one-score games, and they're not going to get away with that this year. Like the reason why they got away with that last year is because they had the man himself, the little mighty might warrior, that little boy that could, Cameron Scatterbo. Like he was everything for that team. I think he will be a future dog for the Giants, but they just don't have him this year. Like they've got some new players, but they did not get him. And without that guy, this team is a 8-4, 7-5 team at best. I just don't think they're going to be there.
I would like to add some to that. You said how they're on the lucky side of the one-score game. Not to bring up bias here, but Cincinnati, why I think they're actually a sleeper this year. They were quite the opposite on one-score games. Like, for example, they were up big on Pitt, and they choked that, and that's one loss. They should have beat Texas Tech. That was another one. West Virginia, they threw the game away. And TCU, all were one-score games. If you flip one, I mean, a couple of those, they could have been in a bowl game. So, like,
yep,
Yeah.
they started 5-2 last year, so we got to remember that as well.
Yeah.
So Stiggs, I'm gonna bring up something here with you. I'm the only one that has a team ranked on here that has finished in the rankings for 10 years in a row. Do you know which team that is?
Wait, say that question again?
There's a team in my rankings that neither one of you guys have that has finished in the top 25 for 10 years in a row.
No, I would not know. I would guess.
Is it Iowa?
It's Iowa, yeah, the Iowa Hawkeyes, yeah. So the thing with Iowa, though, and I'm not sure, has anybody, you guys seen the 5-yard out video that they posted like he was throwing a Hail Mary? Apparently they have a quarterback, and that's why I have him at 22. I'm not overdoing it, but I'm saying they are a perennial, like, 9-3 team every single year. Just my little small take on it. That's all I'm saying. I just want to kind of look back at the beginning of rankings to the end, and we'll see who has the most right that are finishing in there right there.
To play devil's advocate, I do think they definitely upgraded. That dude won the Heisman for South Dakota State. That's one of the FCS teams I like. He's a good quarterback, but yeah, it's tough to predict the transition. That's a big step up. So
The good thing is for him is you really can't be worse
yeah,
from what they had. Like that's
McNamara.
yeah, like the guy who throws with no laces. We will move on from him. So let's go ahead and we talked about this before. Let's kind of just breeze through this and say who we had. Let's go with the Heisman dark horses. I'm going to start out first, and I said Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame has a favorable schedule. Bryce disagrees with that, it sounds like, but I think Notre Dame is a shoe-in to make the playoff. And as a running back, I mean, I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love, who was already a top 3-4 running back last year. Genty's gone, and he's not one of the top favorites. I'm going to go ahead and go with Jeremiah Love. Is anybody who wants to go next here?
I had my sleeper was DJ Lagway. Like I said before, if he can will Florida through that grueling schedule and win most of those games, he's going to be up there for sure. Because he's going to have to ball out in order for them to do that.
I agree. Stiggs?
Yes, sir. I kind of touched on it earlier. Fernando Mendoza transferred from Cal. There was a blip in the radar last year where the Calgorithm was popping. Everyone was kind of high on Cal.
They were ought to go. I remember that. Yeah. Then he transferred, and then he transferred.
Well, that Miami game killed the momentum. But dude, the dude is he's mobile. He's 6'5", 225. And Indiana dark horse for the playoff. This dude dark horse for the Heisman because of it.
I like the consistency. Bryce, let's see. Who do you have?
This is very tough.
You cannot say Ollie Gordon. He is gone. He's on the Dolphins.
I have two players. But if I had to pick one, I will say Lenore Sellers. I think if South Carolina does what they need to do to win, it will be because of him. And I think if they make the playoff, the odds of him going to New York for the Heisman will be very high. He's a dog. I don't know if you guys remember how he played against Clemson. He's single-handedly the reason why they beat Clemson last year, and even why they were in most of the games they were in last year. Even the game at Bama, he became a different person. And I think now with a whole offseason, a whole another year to learn and learn the playbook, be with his team, know who he's with, understanding what he has to work with, I think he could be really different.
Just you don't have to dive into it. Who was the other guy you were thinking of?
Ryan Williams from Alabama.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. That one kind of explains itself.
Yep.
We know how good he is. He was very young last year as a freshman. Makes sense. So now we are on our last slide, guys, and for the week, it's the week one pick'em. We're gonna do our predictions. So Stiggs, I'm sure you're familiar. We're gonna go through these games. Obviously, not the very first one that I have on here. It was just on the image, but we're gonna go through our pick'ems, and then I want each of us. It doesn't have to be games listed on here. We're gonna go through our locks of the week and our upset of the week. And when I say our locks, what I like to do is whatever Adam says a lock and Bryce says a lock and I say a lock, and then I want you to give us a lock. I'm going to parlay it and just see how we do.
All right.
So,
I'll do it too.
Yeah, so that sounds like a play here. Week one game, we're going to skip Alcorn State and UAB. That was just on the thing. So let's go ahead and start with tomorrow night's game. We're going to go to each person here with 9 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. Nebraska and Cincinnati playing in Kansas City, Missouri. Over under 51.5. Cincinnati getting plus 6.5. So now we get to pick this game. Stiggs, you want to start us off? How are you feeling about this game?
Man, start me off with a tough one, man.
Oh, I know, right?
Really, really tough one because I picked UC as potential dark horse. I had to give them my little flowers. I don't think a loss here would end that capability either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go for the upset, man. I gotta stick by it. I gave them their flowers. They're gonna control the run game, and I think they're gonna get it done.
All right, so you're going with the money line, so not even with the spread. You got them
Yeah,
winning
UC.
outright. Okay,
Yeah, UC straight
Bryce.
up.
I'm. This is a very tricky game because part of me wants to pick Cincinnati, just because I think they have the potential to. I feel like they can compete all game with Nebraska. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I don't know about the talent level. I think Nebraska might be able to out-talent them at the end. So I think they will end up winning this game. But I would not be shocked at all if Cincinnati covers.
All right, and then we get comments coming in. Cats by 90. I want to say thank you to you guys. We've held about 10 viewers as we hold on for the whole show here tonight. I know it's late. Thank you guys so much. We all appreciate it. Holding 10 concurrent viewers past midnight has been fantastic, and thanks for the comments. Adam, actually, I'll go ahead and say my pick, and then I'll leave the floor up to you. So I actually really like this game to be close, like how you guys are saying. The over-unders are pretty low. 51.5 isn't anything super high. Unfortunately, Adam, I do think Nebraska is going to win this game, and I think it's going to be by a touchdown. So I think they barely cover. I think it's going to be about a 31-24 game.
Obviously, I'm going with the bias pick. I'm taking the Cats to beat Nebraska. I do think, like everyone, Stig said, I think UC could be a sleeper. I think a lot of people, like I've said, they're sleeping on Sorsby a little bit. If he's consistent all year, consistently good, I think that alone elevates his team by a lot. The wide receiver room got completely overhauled, and I think it's more talented than it was last year. Last year, a lot of the play calls were a go ball to Xavier Henderson, or like if Joe Royer's open. I think we have better weapons there. The defense is a lot better, I think at least. The 2D linemen, because we played the 3-3-5, that were projected last year were hurt, got hurt for the whole year. They're both back. Secondary's revamped. I personally think we have the talent to do it. And I'm going to take UC in that one.
Alrighty then. So we got 2 Nebraska, 2 UC. I'm the only one picking Nebraska to cover. Was that correct? Sounds
so.
right.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. You guys make me sound crazy for that, and I only have them win by a touchdown. But we'll go on to the Friday night games. We got 2 at 8 o'clock, one on Fox, one on ESPN. We'll start with the one on Fox. We have Auburn at Baylor. Auburn on the road, favored by 2.5. It's an over/under of 58.5. This is one of the most highly anticipated games of this action-packed weekend. I'm not sure we've ever had a Week 1 slate like this. I'm so happy about it. But let's go ahead and go through Auburn and Baylor. Let's start off with you, Adam, since you went last.
This one's really tricky, to me at least, because I do like Auburn. I think they got a lot more talent this year. I mean, if Jackson Arnold can be the Jackson Arnold we think he can be, that's going to be huge for them. But on the flip side, the whole hype with Baylor comes from, again, Sawyer Robinson. He's projected to take a big leap. I'm going to go with Baylor just because they have the home field advantage here. I don't think Auburn's going to be quite ready because, they're not going with a cupcake like they usually do. They got a decent opponent off rip. But I'm going to go with Baylor. I guess technically they're underdogs by 2.5. I guess technically it's an upset. I'm going to go with Baylor in that one.
Bryce?
I am going to roll with the Baylor Bears. I don't think this is an upset at all. I think Baylor's just going to be the better team outright during this game, especially having the home field advantage. I think they're going to play way better than they should, and I think they're going to win this game.
Stiggs? Did we lose him? Stiggs? Is he here? Can you guys hear me? Bryce? Oh no, we're cutting out again. Hello? Hello? Bryce? Bryce, Stiggs? Adam? Hello? Oh no.
There we go. Are we back?
There we go. Yeah, yeah, we're back.
Hello.
Okay, Sticks,
All
can you
right.
hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Um, were you able to hear Bryce there at the end?
There we go.
What he said?
Yes,
Yeah, I heard
yeah.
all
Okay,
of
I
those.
I heard all of it. So you're up now for the pick now, Stiggs.
I'm glad you saved me for the last of the three because this is my lock of the week, and it's contrary to the two gentlemen. I'm going Auburn. They have a stacked defensive line unit, a good returning offensive line unit, dudes at receiver. Um, and I'm banking on Jackson Arnold taking a step up. I think they'll get it done. I think they'll just at the end of the day, I think they'll out talent Baylor, although it's going to be close. And 2.5, I'm not even that confident, but I would bet it. I am gonna pick the spread in this game, just because I do feel like their wide receivers can get some big plays. Although Dave Aranda will throw the kitchen sink at Jackson Arnold.
He will.
He's a good defensive coach.
He will. I'm actually on board with you here. We're gonna be 2-2 split again on picks. I'm also going with Auburn here. Um, I think it's going to be very close too. I don't even think that Jackson Arnold needs to play hero ball. I think that the team around Auburn and Arnold, like I said, I'm not sure people really realize how much they got this past offseason of some serious dudes, not just some average Joes, some serious dudes here. And anybody knows me knows I love any chance to expose any SEC bias that there is. And this would be great if Baylor beat Auburn. Overall, though, I feel like Auburn's the better team. I'm going to take Auburn as well. The 2.5 point spread, that just tells me you might as well pick a money line at that point, if that's who you're going to go with.
Right.
If you're picking Baylor. Um, so we'll go back around here. The other 8 o'clock game, very kind of an interesting one here as well. This one kicks off on ESPN. That over under 51.5. Also, a little side note: the Auburn Baylor has the highest over under of the games that we picked this week at 58.5. Georgia Tech at
Interesting.
Colorado 51.5. Georgia Tech favored on the road -4.5. We'll go reverse again. Stiggs, you want to start us off with this game? This one's kind of interesting, a little enticing here.
It's an intriguing matchup because although I have to admit bias when I have bias, I am a Colorado hater and I want to be like, oh, they'll fall off because no Shador, no Travis, but they put together a decent transfer portal again as they typically do. They're very active in the portal. They have that quarterback from Liberty, Salter. They officially named him the starter. That's going to be a totally different dynamic to their team. As I say that, I'm going Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
I think Haynes King's a dog, man. And one thing about Georgia Tech, they're going to come and hit you in the mouth. I don't know if you've seen that linebacker that they have who just looks like he belongs in the 90s. He wears the biggest shoulder pads. He has a cowboy collar.
Yeah.
He looks like that dude from the Deadpool movie, The Juggernaut. Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, also
What's the spread? Sorry.
this is 4.5 for Georgia Tech on the road.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yes,
I'll take it. I'll take 4.5. That seems comfortable.
and it's interesting that they named Caden Salter, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the team who had the 5-star, right? Julian Lewis.
Yep.
Colorado
Yep,
does,
Julian
right?
Lewis.
Okay, yeah. I was like,
Apparently he will play too. It's been said
Okay.
publicly.
okay, I was
don't know
gonna
if
say, I
he'll play
remember.
one, but they said that he'll play this year.
Okay, okay. I was like, I don't want to. I was like, I think I know that he's there. I remember him being like a high 5-star on there, but all right, Bryce, what are you taking here?
I'm taking Colorado. I think
Oh.
Colorado's kind of reloaded. I don't think they're going to be bad at all. I don't think they're going to be like 2023 bad. I don't think they're going to be as maybe good as what they were last year necessarily, but I think they're going to be able to compete with any team they play. I don't think they're going to get blown out. So I actually think they're going to win this game. So I'll take Colorado.
Interesting. Adam, I know Georgia Tech was your dark horse. Is that
Yeah,
Play along with the
I'm
team
taking
here?
Georgia Tech in this. Yeah, I'm taking them to win, and I'm taking them to cover as well.
all right? I think that I'm gonna join you too. I think Georgia Tech is just a better team. I think it'll be tight though. I don't even know if I feel confident in them covering. I'm glad that these are the games that we're getting because they're tight. So Georgia Tech, Colorado, we're gonna lean Georgia Tech. just lean. I would not be surprised if Colorado wins this game. Next up, we go to the noon kickoff on Fox. Of course it is. Big noon kickoff on Fox. Over under 47.5. Ohio State favored by 1.5. Number 1, Texas at number 3, Ohio State. Usually get about 3 points to be the favorite at home, towards the home team. So this just shows me that they do think that Texas would be favored on a neutral site, which is everyone's favorite saying, right? Oh, they'd be favored on a neutral site. Yeah, we all heard that a million times. But Texas and Ohio State kickoff at noon. Sunny and 75 Saturday is the projected temperature. So doesn't get any better than that. I guess we'll go ahead and start with you, Adam.
This one's really tough for me because I'm gonna go with Texas, just because I know Arch this is his first year starting, but he does have some in-game experience. And Julian Sainz going in for his first career start against a really, really, really good Texas defense. So I'm gonna lean Texas probably by like a field.
Gotcha. Are you guys still here? Oh, man. Discord is not our friend tonight, everybody. Hello? 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 Hello?
Crazy.
Hello? Hello? There it is.
Hello.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know why he keeps doing that.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Discord's not our friend tonight. You took Texas by a field goal?
I did, yes.
Okay. What about the 47.5? I think it's a pretty low over-under.
Yeah, well, Ohio State also has a really good there's 2 really good defenses. So I'm gonna I would probably take the over, but I think it's gonna be like 48, like very, very close.
All right. Let's go Stigs.
Yeah, we kind of talked earlier in the chat. I got the Bucks in this one, man. I think everyone's picking Texas. Literally everyone's picking Texas. I'm not on board with the Arch hype just yet. Like, I'm sure he will be good. I'm sure he'll work out, but let's not discount that it's going to be his toughest start ever. And when he started, he really didn't play the best competition. That place is going to be rocking. And just like J.D. Piquel said on his podcast earlier, this is I witnessed firsthand where the difference in a game is we have Jeremiah Smith and you don't, and yeah, that's going to be a factor.
All right, I hope you're right. Let's go with Bryce.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about this game, specifically today, all day today, going back and forth. And I've come to the conclusion that I think Texas is going to win this game, and here's why. Both quarterbacks are very young and, for the most part, inexperienced. Like the Big Stig just said, Arch has not really played any competition up to this point. The toughest team he's played has been,
Louisiana Monroe?
That's exactly what I was going to say, Monroe. He has not had any decent comp. Neither has Ohio State's quarterback. So I think if you throw that off to the side, both teams are equally as talented. But Ohio State lost a lot of production last year. And I think one of the key pieces that they missed the most that they lost was defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. Ohio State's defense is not going to be what it was last year, and I think they're going to take a major step back. I think Texas has kind of reloaded, if not kept, most of their roster, a good chunk of it. So I trust Texas's defense right now more than Ohio State's defense, and that's why I'm taking Texas to win this game.
Gotcha. I've gone back and forth on this game for 4 months. I think I talked to this with you, Stigs, about how much you lose. This is the first year that I'm seeing 2 new coordinators flip. And the thing for me is I think everyone picks their own team. So I'm going to go with Ohio State, but it's not a very confident pick. I could easily see Texas winning this game. We go back and forth on it. I actually think the under's going to hit here. I think we're going to have a very conservative first quarter from both teams. But the thing for me is it's like I don't want to give Arch Manning the benefit of the doubt that Julian Saint is not getting from everybody. When I think that he could still be. What if he's better than him? What if he's just as good? And I'm going to trust the team that has the best player in the country on both sides of the field, personally. Even though it's biased, you can say what you want. I'm going to join Stiggs here on another 2-2 split. I just can't pick against my own guys, no matter who they're playing. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it.
Like it.
So, 3:30 game, we kind of talked about this earlier. Bama at Florida State is 13.5 for Bama, over under 50.5. Are we clean sweeping Bama here, or does somebody have a crazy...
I'm going Alabama.
I got Bama covering as well.
So do I.
Bama to cover.
That was my lock.
Was Bama to cover? We'll get to that after. Yeah, 7:30 game. We got a battle of. I'll let everyone here win this here. Game is at Death Valley, whichever one you want, and take the Tigers. You'll be good. Take Death Valley and the Tigers, and you win this. A very intriguing matchup here. We got number 9 LSU at number 4 Clemson. 57.5 is the over/under. We got a 7:30 kickoff on ABC. Man, I wish I knew what that felt like. 3.5 is the line. Clemson favored. I actually want to start with this one. I know I've been kind of going last on each of them, but this is my lock of the week, and I'm taking Clemson minus 3.5. Personally, at home. I'm not a big Nuss believer, and I also think Clemson's D-line, they have two of the best of the top 10 players in the country on that D-line. They bring back their quarterback, which that doesn't always mean everything, but Cade Klubnik is already a top 5-10 quarterback in college football. Some would say higher than that. Dabo's been around for a long time. I think LSU's getting overrated, and I think Clemson is one of the top 3-4 favorites to go and win the national championship this year. Their defense is going to be suffocating like normal. They're the home team, so they're barely getting any of a favoritism towards here. I think this will be a close game. Obviously, this should be, but I think LSU's overrated. I can't ever trust Brian Kelly in big games regardless. I'm going to go with Clemson at home to cover this. I think they win by 7 to 10 points. Stiggs, you want to follow me up here? Oh, I'm sorry. Adam, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree with you on literally everything you just said. I will never. Well, everyone knows here I hate Brian Kelly, and I always will. So I will never, especially the first game of the year, I'll never bet with him. So I'm gonna go with Clemson, and I'm gonna take them to cover as well.
Stiggs?
Yeah, I agree with everything. I'm rolling Clemson here. They're gonna cover. Antonio Williams, Bryant Wesco, T.J. Moore. Insane wide receiver trio, Cade Klubnik, and then like you said, at every level of defense, they got 2 top 10 defensive linemen. They got 2, I'd say like top 30 linebackers in college football. And then they got Terrell, a corner.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a great NFL piece in each level of the secondary. Give me Clemson to cover.
Bryce.
Well, guys. We will get to this later, but I'm taking LSU to win this game outright. I think LSU is going to walk into Tiger Stadium and dethrone them and take the true name of Death Valley. Because I think LSU's offensive weapons is going to be. I honestly think they're just going to beat them downfield. Les Myers is not afraid to take shots down the field, and he's lived and died by that so far, especially last year. I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I know we've been talking about the defenses. I think this will be one of the most high-scoring games of Week 1 amongst all of the ranked teams. So I'm going to take LSU to go ahead and win this game.
All right.
And break the 5-year curse since Joe Burr beat Georgia Southern in one.
Hey, I'm glad that we have a little variety, right? That's what It's over here.
I respect the call. It's a bold
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah. So Sunday game kickoff. We got a 3 o'clock kickoff. Virginia Tech at South Carolina. South Carolina favored by 7.5. Does anybody have Virginia Tech covering or winning that game? Just yes or no?
No.
Nope.
I don't.
All right, we'll move on from that then. 7:30 kick Sunday night. What a great! You know what I gotta say. Besides the Friday night at the same time, but I'm okay with it with those two. The games are all spread out perfectly, not in the same time slot. And we gotta appreciate that.
Yeah, they really are. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's the greatest week one, I think, in recent
Ever.
memory.
Maybe ever.
Yeah, probably ever. Probably ever, yeah.
So this one we got Notre Dame number 6 at number 10 Miami. In Miami here. Miami 2.5-point favorites at home, over under 49.5. Very intriguing matchup. We got new quarterbacks. We got Notre Dame's first game coming off a national championship appearance. We got Miami coming off from having the number 1 overall pick in the draft. And a lot of people have always been down on Miami's home atmosphere, and rightfully so. They haven't had a top program's home atmosphere. Some people say it's because they're playing in the Dolphin Stadium, which is 40 minutes away from campus. Take it as you leave it. I don't think the Dolphins themselves have a good home atmosphere, but besides the point, when the teams go on the field, we got Notre Dame and Miami. Adam, how about you start us off here?
One of my most confident locks of the week. I have Notre Dame winning this game. And kind of like how you were saying with Ohio State, how they have the 2 best players on the field on both sides of the ball. I think personally, Jeremiah Love is the best offensive player in this game. Him alone is probably going to help carry Notre Dame to the win. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Irish.
All right, and before we get on to the next one, I'm just going to say I'm going to pick the Irish 2 to cover. I'm surprised it's only 2.5. I could see Miami keeping this a game for a while, but I cannot trust Miami's defense. I don't think Beck's going to play bad. I think he can make it interesting, but I do not trust Miami's defense to consistently get stopped. So give me Notre Dame. Sticks.
Yeah, I hate to agree, but yeah, Notre Dame. It's just when the quarterback play is unknown for Notre Dame, but when you can lean on always strong offensive line and the best running back in college football, I like your chances, especially against an unproven, restructured defense.
So you're not crystal balling.
Never again.
Absolutely not.
Bryce, close us out with that.
Notre Dame's going to beat Miami by 2 scores.
Oh, whoa. Okay, 2 scores. So that could be 10 points. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We're all in agreement there. That should be a good game, though, right? We all agree with that? Should be.
Oh, yeah.
Be a good game? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good game, 100%.
We get a Monday night game, 8 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. This was actually pretty interesting, too. This is also an intriguing matchup. TCU at North Carolina. TCU favored on the road by 3.5, over under 56.5. Adam?
This one's a very interesting one. A lot of unproven. I know TCU brings back Josh Hoover, their starting quarterback from last year. Obviously, North Carolina has a complete overhaul with Bill Belichick coming in. This one's pretty tough, but I'm going to roll with North Carolina in this one. I'm kind of a big believer in Gio Lopez. I think he'll get it.
All right. We'll go to Stiggs, and North Carolina did just announce their starter today, correct?
Yeah, it is Gio Lopez.
It is Gio, right?
They did confirm the starter.
Right. I think they just confirmed it, right? I think that's where we were at.
Yeah.
Okay, Stiggs, you want to go here next?
Yeah, I'll take TCU, and I'll take them to cover. I'm a big believer in Josh Hoover. That dude might not be the most accurate, but he's a gunslinger. He's gonna give his receivers chances to make plays, and I'm not gonna doubt TCU's wide receiver production either. I know they lost 2 wide receivers, Savion Williams, who was kind of a running back wide receiver hybrid, and Jack Besh, both drafted in the NFL. But I mean, even before that, they had QJ recently, so I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean QJ gets a little bit of hate now, but still can't doubt it's a first-round receiver coming out of that college. So you're saying the Hypnotoads are back? Or
Oh
you're
yeah,
not?
give me the blood. Give me the blood frogs.
Okay, the Blood Frogs pick out of Sticks. And Bryce.
I'm going to go ahead and take TCU. I want to. I find it very interesting that I don't know if you guys remember this. So a couple of years, TCU was in the national championship. They followed up that following season, week 1, playing a big-time name, a coach,
Colorado?
and Mr. Prime himself
Yep.
at Colorado. They then, a couple of years later, turn around and play North Carolina with Bill Belichick in week 1. TCU's been a big name in these week 1 games, especially with big-time coaching hires, and I find that very interesting. They did
That's
lose.
funny.
They did lose to Colorado in that game, but I don't think that's going to happen here. I think TCU will beat them, and I think it'll be a wake-up call for Bill Belichick to finally lock in and get his team under control and stop treating us like a
Get his
little
girlfriend.
Showtime
Get his
job.
girlfriend under control.
Yeah.
No. So I actually lean TCU in this game. I was thinking about joining you, Adam. I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I mean, the spread's only 3.5 for a reason. I got TCU by a touchdown or so. It should be an interesting one. Is this game? Does anybody know if this is on campus? I think it's not,
I
right?
think it's not.
I thought it was at North Carolina. Next year they are the game in Ireland. They're in Dublin in week 0.
Yeah, and Michigan plays Western Michigan and Germany next year.
That's crazy, bro. Take them back. That's right there, or those Nazis.
Yeah,
Why
well,
leave Michigan?
yeah, literally at that
Oh
point.
no, it is in North Carolina.
Okay, I didn't know if it was going to be one of those. I'm sure Stiggs is on my side about this. Don't you guys love when Georgia plays those neutral site games in Atlanta?
Oh, man,
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me started.
We've
We're doing
all
it in
we
basketball.
hold
with
on.
them.
I think we've all been a part of that, except for maybe Bryce. We've all
Me.
played the neutral site in Atlanta.
Yep.
Oh man,
Bullshit.
it's
We
so
played
stupid.
on that.
So did we.
Bo Nix got rocked by 40 his first start for Oregon.
49-3.
Shit, dang, he's pulling the scoreboard. Hold on, dude.
Sorry. That game was brained in my memory.
All right, so if we go one by one with our locks, I'm gonna start out. I'm gonna go with I got Clemson minus 3.5 over LSU. Stiggs, you're the guest. You're up
Mine was-
next.
Yeah, mine was Auburn over the Baylor Bears. I believe it was 2.5.
Yep, 2.5.
Comfortable with that. And
Help.
very quickly, I do want to give a brief
Yep.
shout out for a potential massive upset. Plus 370. Southern Miss versus Mississippi State.
I like that.
Why you ask? Southern Miss was 1-11 last year, but they got the Marshall coach, and the Marshall coach
I love the Marshall
won that
coach.
conference and brought 20 or so of his players with him. So
Here's-
that's going to be a swift turnaround for that team. And Mississippi State is, Mississippi State. Although I got to shout out my favorite transfer running back, Fluff Bothwell from South Alabama as well. Dog, 5'10", 230, just an absolute tank.
I got one for you too, Stiggs. That's kind of along those lines. We got Toledo at Kentucky. Do not sleep on Toledo here. They did beat Mississippi State 41-17 last year. This is only a 9.5 point spread here. We got a MAC versus SEC school. We got a 9.5 point spread. Toledo, they play at kickoff at 12:45. That has upset potential. So we got so far. My pick was Clemson minus 3.5. Lock. You help us out with the odds here. Plus 2.5 for Baylor. Let's go with Bryce next.
My lock is going to be South Carolina minus 7.5 versus Virginia Tech.
I like that a
South
lot.
Carolina's gonna kill Virginia Tech. We'll see.
And then
I
Adam.
heard you say that I thought I heard you say your lock was LSU. Did we back off that?
Well,
We got
because
three locks. We
yeah,
got
'cause
three locks, do we not?
mine's in the same
Oh,
game.
okay.
Yeah. So
Okay,
This is-
my bad.
no, you're good. You're good.
Spoiler.
It'll be no, you're good. And I think Adam, the one that you put together was the Notre Dame one, right?
Yeah, that is one of them.
Okay.
I was honestly gonna go with a different game,
Oh, okay.
kind of a random one.
You can pick whatever you want.
I,
Yeah.
li- I like Miami, Ohio to cover 17.5 against Wisconsin.
I don't hate that.
Miami, Ohio, honestly,
Fair.
they got Daquan Finn as their quarterback now. He was at Toledo. I think last year he was at Baylor. Miami's got a lot of talent, and Wisconsin, who knows who they're about to be. I think they were an air raid team last year. Obviously, with fickle teams, that's not his identity. I think he's trying to go back to that, but I just don't think that Wisconsin's very good. So I'm gonna go with Miami to cover 17.5.
Good point. So that's what we are going to go with for our locks. If we had an upset pick of the week, I'm going to pick a game we didn't even talk about for my actual upset pick. The other ones, that I was going to talk about, that's not who I would pick to win. You guys might call me crazy for this. Tonight, I have an upset. I got UCF at home beating number 25 Boise State to start the season off. It's only a 5.5 point spread. The more and more I keep hearing about Boise State, the more and more I like South Florida. You guys might call me crazy for that. They're at home. No Genty for Boise anymore. I'm taking USF as my upset pick of the week.
I love that, honestly. I'm very high on Bynum Brown. That guy is a stud for South Florida. I had them in their spread, honestly. I thought about taking that as my lock. I do like that pick a lot, actually.
Stiggs, did you want to confirm an upset pick that you really like?
Oh yeah. I want to confirm one that I didn't mention, and this is kind of a reverse upset, which is it's interesting. But I have Northwestern upsetting Tulane. That's a
Oh, wow.
Saturday game, I believe.
Yeah.
Tulane's favored by 6.5.
Yeah, at home, yeah.
And I know Northwestern's not good, but I have believe in Preston Stone. They have the old SMU quarterback. He got benched for Kevin Jennings last year. Preston Stone is not a bad quarterback. I don't know
Yep.
what happened to him, but I think he's going to give him some juice. And Northwestern randomly will pop off. I don't think they'll pop off, but I think a bowl game is in their future.
Great pick. Great pick. I like that we're going off the radar here. Bryce, what about you?
Well, the Stigler tried calling me out for it. My upset pick is LSU versus Clemson. Like I said, I think if I was a betting man, which I am, it's just not legal here, I would take LSU over Clemson in this game. I think LSU is going to outright win this game, let alone not even having to worry about covering it. So,
Gotcha.
Respect.
Gotcha. I respect it. Hey, you stand on business. I respect that. That's all I gotta say.
And called me out.
Yeah, that is true.
wait till you hear my week 2 upset pick.
Oh man, please tell me it's not what I think it is.
Let's just say the Ducks going to get shot.
Oh, you were going a different route. I was thinking of a game in Norman next week.
Don't worry, I don't even think that would be an upset. I think Michigan's just a better team.
Oh man, okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, Adam, what's your upset pick of the week?
I mean, I got one biased one, because, technically it would be an upset. I would like to go with the Bearcats over Nebraska, but
Okay.
I'm not. I'll give you a different one. There's two, honestly, I'm leaning towards. Hawaii against Arizona. Hawaii just beat Stanford. I know Stanford isn't very good. But neither really is Arizona. I don't think Arizona's that good. They lose Teteroa McMillan. I know Fafita's still there, but he was a major disappointment last year. The team in general was a massive disappointment last year. I think Hawaii could do it, but I'm going to go with UCLA against Utah. I don't know why I'm a believer in Nico, but I think UCLA can do it.
Alrighty then, UCLA. We didn't really talk much about them, but that's kind of interesting. Before we close it out here, Bryce, we were talking about it. Usually we do a 3 leg parlay from each of us here, Stiggs, kind of because it mixes games up. But I like to get our one locks there, so it's like I'll bet the parlay of your pick, my pick, Bryce pick, and Adam pick on different games, so we can parlay that. But here is where I want you guys to give me your 3 picks. Could be 3, could be 4. Bryce, you start us out. What is your three-leg parlay that you would put on the betting screen as Bryce's parlay picks to put on DraftKings or so? What do you got for this weekend? This could be spreads as well. That's why it's a little different.
I would take Bama. I'm gonna take Bama to the plus. What is it?
13.5.
13.5.
Yeah, 13
I'm
and a
gonna
half.
take Bama. I'm gonna take South Carolina. I kind of looked at these earlier, and they're kind of. I think all of them are up here, and I'm gonna take Baylor to win. So, Bama, South Carolina, and Baylor are the teams I'm picking.
Adam?
So I did have a couple of those, but I'm gonna do some games we weren't really talking about. Again, I have Miami. I would take Miami plus 17.5. I'm gonna take Miami plus 17.5. I got another one for Thursday. Kind of random game. Houston minus 22.5 against Stephen F. Austin. I think Houston could. I don't really think they're gonna be a dark horse just yet, but they're on a pretty good trajectory. They got Connor Wegman this year. They do have some talent there. I would put in Houston. And the pick you picked earlier, I'm going to take South Florida to cover 5.5 against Boise State.
Okay, so yours is a little bit more of a bold. You're going for the big odds. I like that. For mine, I do like combining kind of the picks that we had earlier. I really like Clemson in my parlay. If like the one I would put out, Clemson minus 3.5. I like Notre Dame minus 2.5. Those aren't getting you any money though, unfortunately. I do like Bama to cover 13.5, and then if I have to add one more on there, that's an upset. Or not really an upset, just to cover. I do like Tennessee to cover. So now we will go to Stiggs. You got a 3-game parlay or something that you feel super confident in, or if not, that's okay too. Yeah.
Yeah, not the best odds because they are the favorite, but my lock was Auburn at 2.5. My kind of one that we haven't talked about, Rutgers favored by 15.5 against OU. I think OU's good. They're bringing back Parker Navarro. They were the MAC champs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they'll cover that. And then my other one, which I'm also fairly confident in, but I'm going to go with that Northwestern one. I know I wanted to go with something different because we just brought it up.
Yeah.
I would be more confident in the Northwestern one. Tulane's 6.5. I think Northwestern will outright win, but yeah, I think they'll cover the 6.5. Did want to quickly shout out. I think there's a world where the Tennessee Joey Aguilar thing doesn't work out and Syracuse covers the 13.5.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at all. So I want to say a funny thing. You said that we play Ohio in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Funny.
Better watch out, Parker.
I know.
Navarro. No.
I know, right? But I want to thank you guys so much. That was episode 1. It might have sounded like it was dragging, but I promise you, we were live for an hour, 52 minutes, kind of a pretty good podcast length. I really want to thank everybody in the chat for sticking around. You guys were great. Promise production's going to get better. This was kind of last minute for us, but we're going to keep on working towards everything we can. Stiggs, I absolutely loved having you, brother. You're a great guest,
I
man.
was about to say, I know you like to keep it fresh and keep it rotating, but I'll come back on anytime, and I got to be on here next week after what Fake said. Let's just throw it out there.
Yeah, we can go ahead and confirm that. So you can be back on next week. Yeah.
I want to add something too. We have a college pick'em chat group.
Yeah.
We want to send that link out to everyone. I want to get as much people in there as possible. We've
Yep.
been doing it the past couple of years, and I love it.
I love it
It's
too.
one of the things I look forward to throughout the week and the weekend. So.
Yeah, and
I wanna send that link out
speaking
to
of the pick'em, I just went ahead and said, whoever wins and comes in first, I'll give you $50. So,
I bet.
so whoever does it, just keep people on top so they don't, so they're not iffy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, some weeks not. If you know you're not putting any money in and can win free money, you might as well try, right? So make sure to join the We Know Ball podcast. Pick 'em. I got to change the name, but I will send out the link. Anybody wants it in the chat, go ahead and leave a comment. But it's going to be posted everywhere. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I want to thank Velocity Esports and G Fuel for sponsoring today's podcast. You guys got anything else to say?
I think that's it.
Adam?
Coach got a quack on camera after next week.
Yep, that is true.
All I gotta say is cats by 90, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say horns down.